Hello plant lovers, it is Matthew in Melbourne welcoming you back to my channel. Thank you very much for finding me. If you're new here, I post every week about growing cold, cool, intermediate orchids here in Melbourne, Australia. Sometimes I wish that was Melbourne, Florida. Without any greenhouses or grow lights or humidifiers, just me and my raw amateur talent growing these things indoors or outdoors or not at all. So, if that sounds of any use to you, do hit subscribe. I post every week on a Friday. My amateur ramblings are amateur and rambling, but nonetheless. It's all been a journey of me trying to figure out what can work for me in my climate without any equipment, and it might work for you too. So, plant lovers, today's plant. Now, a few weeks ago, I made a video about it's spring, which it still is, and what am I doing at this time of year? One of the obvious things that one needs to do is to check your orchids to see if they need repotting, because this is an optimum time. Although I sit firmly in the camp that if you really have to repot an orchid, you can do it at any time of the year, but there are all sorts of asterisks and caveats around that, only on a necessity basis. But the best time for most orchids is in spring. And here we have, plant lovers, Exhibit A, which is my fabulous and oft videoed Miltoniopsis Kelly Spangled Banner. But before we go any further, a little segue into some Chinese philosophy. I'm reading this book at the moment, Chinese Thoughts from Confucius to Cooking by Roel Stursix. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Very interesting book, particularly about botany, and I really love traditional Chinese gardens, but this does bear relevance to what we're going to do today. The Tao of all plants and soils is that each should have what is special to it. There we are. Now that was written in the 3rd century BCE. What that really means, plant lovers, is that plants should have the right potting medium and the right environment for where they come from. So here's a tale. This Miltoniopsis Kelly Spangled Banner I have had now for 3 years. As you can see, fabulous sized plant and very healthy and vigorous. Blooms for me at least twice a year, but it sometimes is sort of in perpetual bloom. A spike appears here and there. Wonderful. And it's not looking unhealthy. But, plant lovers, this has been in this pot and this medium for years. And, true reveal, the medium that this is potted in is in fact out of the bag orchid potting mix, because when I first bought this, I didn't really know that much. So I just bought the bag that said orchid potting mix. Now, I've been through my potting mix journey with a video, which I will link above and below. And there is a place for out of the bag orchid mix. And one could argue that this plant has done exceptionally well in out-of-the-bag potting mix. Anyway, it is now 3 years old, and I feel that it's just time to refresh it. Not that the plant is looking a bit lackluster, but I just feel 3 years is quite a long time, and it's certainly fit for a repot. The other thing is, and I'll come in and show you quite closely, is that when I bought this, it was a seedling, and it just had one pseudobulb, and it's grown exponentially, and it's sort of grown in a circular pattern, sending out shoots left, right, and center, which it is doing now, which means it's a great time to repot. New shoots, new roots, new life. That's spring for you. But what we can see in the middle is that the old core of the plant has in fact died away, and I've pulled it out. It's just, withered and died. Not a problem with that. That's what happens. So it's a totally natural process. So that hasn't bothered me. But what I feel is that the plant could do with a bit of a refresh. So maybe I could take out some of that dead material, check those roots, remove anything that might be dead, and then repot it. Now, it's a little, I would say, a little over potted even now. So I'm certainly not going to pot it up. And if anything, once we've removed some of the sort of old material, we might even pot it down. So let us repot this Miltoniopsis. Let's see what the medium's like. Let's see what the roots are like. Let's see what the dead heart is like, and give it a new spring lease of life. Okay, so the main ingredients we are going to need: lots and lots of sphagnum moss. I've got some perlite, and I've got some shell grit, which is a Rachel from Gardening Influencer specialty, which we'll get to. And I've got some medium and some slightly smaller bark mixed up. So I'm just going to mix all of these things together, not the shell grit, to create a very mossy, not so bark heavy mix this time. And the other things we're going to need: I've got a slightly smaller pot just in case we need to go down. Fabulous Japanese secateurs which have been sterilized. mycorrhizal fungi, and an all-purpose general fertilizer, which I'm going to include in the mix. Let us have a look at Kelly Spangled Banner. So you can see that this is where the heart of the old plant was. What you might be able to see is the little shoot coming up in here, and there's new growths coming everywhere. So let's just see how we go getting it out of this pot. All right, gentle little push from the bottom. There we go. Aha, good to see. Goodness. So first observation, it's still nice and moist, but a lot of these roots are dead. You can also see that quite a bit of this old medium has broken down. So good to get all of that out, I think. And what we can perhaps see here is the new roots coming out of these new growths. So those are what we want to encourage to get their roots down. And look, this is old polystyrene from when I first bought it. So those roots are old. Getting rid of all of this. So we can see that a lot of these roots, you can see that filament in the middle and the sheath of the root there just sort of pulls off like that. So these are old roots. Now it's nothing to particularly worry about because the old part of the plant will lose its roots and the new parts will produce new ones. So not desperate measures. So I'm not concerned. And as you can see, the plant is looking really healthy. So let's just get rid of all of this old material, see what's going on. So here, plant lovers, we've got a choice. I could divide this plant, and I could actually probably divide it into 3 parts, sort of this bit, and this bit. Each have got new growing points. But you know what? I know I said at the beginning I was kind of keen to get rid of that dead element. Well, what I'm more keen to have is a large specimen plant, to be honest. So you know what? I am not going to divide it. There's no real rotten material in there because I did actually take out the old part that had sort of died off. And then there's new growths coming up in the middle here, which will sort of take its place, essentially. So you know what? I'm just going to trim these old dead roots. I'm just going to trim them back. I'm not going to go crazy and repot. Now, I think it's safe to say that most of these are pretty dead. So we're just going to trim them all off. There we go. Good to see too that there was a reasonable amount of moisture in this soil. I must say the watering of Miltoniopsis can be a bit of a chore, and as you can see I've got concertina leaves, which is a sure sign that Matthew hasn't been watering frequently enough. So I'm just trimming off all of this dead root matter because it's serving no one, and all it can probably do is just break down, and that could cause problems. Although I think in the wild, you know, an orchid's roots are going to break down and decompose, and it becomes part of the joyous organic matter that it feeds off, but whatever. In cultivation, we do things differently. So there's a dead one. So with these orchids, you sort of do get annual root growth. So yeah, don't be concerned when you unearth this and find a whole lot of dead roots. Perfectly natural. Each growth cycle, you're going to get new roots. And with mine, that's roughly twice a year. Okay, there we are. Trim, trim, trim. Now, if we just take away some of these old dead leaf bits, can you see in here, these are the new root nibs. So when I repot it, what I am going to do is make sure that there's a lot of sphagnum moss around the top of the plant so that all these roots, and you see there's new roots just coming out here, so that all these roots have got something to really get into, and there's a whole bunch of roots just sort of searching for the light. So I'm just going to take out some of these old spent leaf sheaths, gently pulling down, or in this case I think snipping. So what this process has done has just opened up these new roots to the air, as it were, and in here to give them the capacity to start going down into the medium and starting to draw up moisture and nutrients. So I'm pretty pleased with that. Let us now pot it on, and I am going to put it back in the same spot because generally the sort of the volume of the plant hasn't changed much. Okay, so just a bit of bark to start with, the perlite, the bark, and a lot of moss.
Lots of moss, lots of bark, lots of perlite. So that's the first layer. Into this, our secret ingredients: slow release fertilizer and mycorrhizal fungi. And we just put a soupçon. And the mycorrhizal fungi has a symbiotic relationship with the plant's roots and enables them to draw out nutrients and access it. There we go. Now, putting our plant back in there. So you see, perfect fit. You can kind of not tell that anything's happened. And I'm just going to pad around with sphagnum moss to start with. And now I'm just going to top dress that with bark. Okay, there we are. And I did manage to get all that shell grit mixed up. Just a little bit of a sprinkle of shell grit, which is full of calcium, and the mycorrhizal fungi that we have put in there is going to help the plant access all those minerals from not just the shell grit, but from the other elements of the potting. So there we go. Fabulous new potted Miltoniopsis. So there we are, plant lovers. Miltoniopsis Kelly Spangled Banner repotted and ready for action in exactly the same spot, looking exactly the same. So there is a lot more sphagnum moss around the top so that all those new roots have got something moist and juicy to get into. There is slow release fertilizer in the body of the mix and some mycorrhizal fungi. And what I'm going to do now is give it a really thorough soaking with a seaweed solution, which is not a fertilizer, it's a tonic, but it's full of all sorts of biological juiciness that just gives a plant a bit of a fillip. So I always dilute that down to about 1/8 of what's recommended. But I always water plants in that I've just repotted with that. It just, you know, helps them along with their day. Anyway, Miltoniopsis Kelly Spangled Banner. Let's hope she thrives. Let's hope that we get some bloom. So there's quite a few new growths sort of maturing, so they should be producing spikes over the next few months. So once this reblooms, I'll do a follow-up to show you that it survived and it's happy. So there we are, plant lovers. Spring task completed, repotting my somewhat of a beast of a Miltoniopsis, which actually turned out not to be. I'm very glad it's got fresh medium and a fresh lease on life in this new spring era. I hope that was of use to you. Do hit subscribe if you want to follow my continuing amateur adventures. I post every Friday. And so until then, plant lovers, I look forward to seeing you next week. Take care wherever you are.